Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Ulrich coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 1v1 action. Before we really get started today's game between Von Asten down here in the south as the blue OKW and in the northeast with Pappy Daniel as the Soviets, I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. The March update, after so many of those winter mods coming out, the March update has gone through, which means we have a whole host of changes coming out. That being said, I cannot tell you whether or not this replay falls between the original one, I guess this is still the vanilla, let's say, build of the game, as opposed to having the March update in place. We're going to see some penal troops coming out right now from Pappy Daniel. Von Asten already making a Kubelwagen and a follow-up squad of Volksgrenadiers. But know that March update is going to be changing a lot of material. So as we move forward, guys, I just want to give you a heads up. So keep aware. It's going to be fantastic. There's going to be a lot of juicy new content coming out. Changes to T-70s, changes to penal troops, changes to a lot of things going on here. This flamethrower button going to be completely gone in the next week or so with all your Soviet games. You'll see PTRSs instead. And won't that be terrifying? But you know what? We're getting away from this match right here. So let's focus on that, shall we? Taking a look at Pappy Daniel's commanders for a second, we will see Guard Motor Coordination Tactics with Guards Rifles, Shock Army with Shock Troops, and once again Shock Rifle Frontline Tactics for more Shock Troops. So no matter what commander we see, we're probably going to see a fair amount of Collins on that side of things. Now, Von Asten, on the other hand, has brought two unsurprising commanders, Scavenge Doctrine and Special Operations Doctrine, but he's also bringing Fortifications Doctrine. I continue to be very, very skeptical of this particular commander, but you know what? If Von Asten wants to run it, he's good enough. He should be able to run with it. Pappy going to get use out of a clown card coming out over here, and that's not surprising. You tend to see that happen after a couple penal squads do come out. The special rifle command is definitely allows a unique style of play. And moving forward with the game right now, we are going to see is a third squad of Volksgrenadiers. So Von Asten not rushing on an SWS at all, instead trying to get a good amount of territory presence on this map. And that map, of course, is Crossroads. Going to see, of course, that a regular X marks the spot at the crossroads of the entire map. But both players have already picked up their fuel. The Germans are going to be lightly outgunned, I would say, by the scout car with the 50 cal. As well as, or the 50 cal, what's the term I'm looking for? Anagram? No. Analog, that's the one I'm looking for right now. And with the Germans not able to call in any effective anti-vehicle material, I'm kind of curious to see how much territory this causes the Germans to lose. Another squad of penal troops is going to come on in. And that will mean that the Germans will suffer at range against, especially against this particular vehicle right here. The SWS has been called in right now, so hopefully we'll see a battle group headquarters, and with that, it will allow the Germans to start throwing down Fausts. Because in the meantime, they're going to get themselves pretty cut to pieces. You're going to see penal troops coming in behind, trying to cut off and flank the Sturm Pioneers, as well as that Kubelwagen by negative cover, as well as with STGs to back up the Kubelwagen. Those penal troops might want to consider moving away. They do for the moment, but only to fall back onto their own allies. And where is that particular truck going? Is he throwing down? He's throwing down a mechanized regiment headquarters. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So one of the things to look forward to with the new OKW is the mech regiment is not going to remove any kind of healing ability from the German army. Indeed, the Sturm Pioneers will be able to throw down healing medical supplies from Vet 0, no longer needing to get experience up to Vet 1 before doing so. Now, the Germans have been able to take the northern fuel. They're giving up their own fuel in the south, though, and it does not look like the Soviets are too concerned about this. They are reinforcing the combat engineers back in base, and their penal troops are definitely forming a good thin red line against the OKW. But the Oberkommand, with their now extant mechanized regiment headquarters, will be able to start throwing out those Fausts, and right quick. In the meantime, Pappy has decided to go for a Guard Motor Coordination Tactics, an unsurprising selection, trying to get one more good game in with those Guards Rifle troops. Those guys can be pretty devastating. Look to see some increased costs out of them as the new patch comes through. But that T-34-85 will be more than enough to trade effectively, let's say, against the later OKW forces. And indeed, I'm wondering, is it going to be a P2 coming out of this one? I don't know if I necessarily like that decision, but it could be a viable option. Penal troops just trying to stop this cap until combat engineers can come on down. We are going to see the scout cars in the middle part of the map as well, with another squad of penal troops decapping the German position and forcing back this particular garrison. But an MG-34 is out. Probably a good decision on this map, trying to push back the waves of Soviet aggression. And now we're going to see the clown car coming down with a flamethrower penal troop. Very, very quick Faust. Nope, no Faust just yet. Although a Faust would be more than enough to damage that and probably set up for a kill. Not anymore. Those combat engineers are going to come on in and start healing that bad boy up. Kugelwagen seems to be daring, just kind of sitting in there and putting some firepower in on that vehicle. In the meantime, the Volksgrenadiers coming around and throwing incendiary grenades like crazy to broil this penal troop alive. Almost going to die right there. He's going to retreat though, as is this machine gun. Dear God, that's poor guys. I think this ran into a mine down here in the southwest. And we're also going to see a Guards Rifle coming onto the map. Those PTRSs will carve a huge path through the German lines. We're also going to see the Germans go down about 20 tickets already, and there is that P2, but the P2 will be easily deflected, I would say, by the initial Soviet Guards squad. Volksgrenadiers not coming forward enough to really put any more pressure down on top of that clown car, and especially not going to do that now as the DP light machine guns are going to be upgraded onto that Guards squad. And 7 minutes and 15 seconds into this game, we are going to see a P2 is still sliding around and come out to the map any second. There he is. He's out on the map now. And the Germans are not having a great time on this map, but neither are they completely and totally outgunned. Storm Pioneers coming around on this guard squad, and with those guys in negative cover, once again, it's going to be a lot of damage. See that DP light machine guns coming out now to put some hurt back on top of the Storm Pios. But that P2 is there, and as good as those Guards Rifles are in negative cover, they're going to get shot to pieces. I'm also going to see these MT-34s now suppressed a couple of squads of the Soviets. The clown cars rushing on in. This might be a perfect opportunity to bring the P2 in and carve them to pieces. But no, he's going to back out just in time. These two squads getting unsuppressed as no more machine gun fire comes their direction. However, these combat engineers to the south might want to consider a new line of work, even as the second squad of guards comes into play. Kugelwagen coming in to recap the position. That's a good decision right there. Germans trying to go in deep with this Volksgrenadier squad, and no, it's just going to be a Faust up on top of this scout car. Question is going to get out alive? It's going to be close. Nope, never mind, he goes down. So first blood to the Soviets, but the first vehicle for the Soviets does go down right now. So not a perfect trade, but still a decent one nevertheless. Germans reestablishing their fuel line income to the southeast. Looks like those guards are not going to have that, though. Supported by this Flame Penal Battalion squad, they could definitely carve their way into the German supply position and are looking to do so right now. But as we move into a slight break in the game, guys, we are up to almost 980 subscribers by the time I am recording this. I am extremely grateful for all the support you guys show to this channel already, and I am really looking forward to the day that we get 4 digits. That's going to be not my, my dream. My dream, honestly, would be to do this as a full-time job. Not quite there just yet, though. But nevertheless, thank you guys so much for all the support you give this channel, and hopefully you just continue doing it. I would just love to continue making material for you. In the meantime, we are going to see that the fight is kicked back off. This P2 is now taking fire from 4 different PTRSs, but he's doing a good number on these guard squad, even as these penal troops are trying to push back. This Kugelwagen will be able to do a decent bit of damage there and take a 2-to-1 cap advantage against the Soviets. But the Germans are not to be outdone. Even as the Soviets seize the southeast portion of the map, the Germans are trying to push along the center line of position. having a Kettenwerfer posted up to cover this intersection. Of course, not going to do a whole lot of damage against a, you know, cloaked, against an infantry squad from the Soviets. Germans, in the meantime, throwing down some sandbags, giving themselves a defensive position behind which to chill, let's call it. Another MG-34 coming out in the meantime as well for the Germans. Interesting decision there. Maybe he was looking to do is post up down here to the southeast, maybe post right about, maybe right here or in the sandbag that he so lovingly has constructed. I don't know. That might be the opportunity for him. Pappy with Daniel, not to be outdone, is calling in his T-70 now, a very, very late T-70 at that. Slowed down a great deal by the investment into the scout car, although he has not really seen fit to play a very complete vehicle build. With Penals backed up by guards, it's kind of not hard to see why. But these guys are going to come on forwards, and this P2 is going to do some work, especially if they're negative covers. He's picking off a model in just a second there. No, it was actually the Volksgrenadiers that did the work. But this P2 will get a first star veterancy pretty darn quickly. Any second now. Well, taking fire from this T-70, could be some more bit of work being done here. And a Faust coming out way downtown. P2 should be able to slide in and pick up that T-70 if he wants to. It's going to be difficult, though, because his PTRSs will definitely cause some damage there. That's what Kettenwerfer needs to just retreat. Just right now. There he goes. He's going to pull back as we speak. Got that first star veterancy, does that P2, and the machine MG-34 might be able to suppress. It does suppress. It's giving the opportunity for this P2 to really carve a good number into the Soviets. I hadn't realized that the Soviets had lost their Western fuel and munitions for a short brief of time there, as the Germans decapped positions here and here. Now the T-70 is being repaired. He's got that engine critical is completely gone. Combat engineers behind him, but von Asten does not seem too cowed by this, and indeed he seems actually rather vivacious. A second T-70 coming out. So the question is, can von Asten stop the T-70 rush? Because a 2-to-1 advantage will definitely go in favor of the T-70s. They are much more proficient infantry killers, and indeed light vehicles as well. So you see right now, as fog of war goes, he doesn't see the T-70 coming out very much, and a mine right there gets picked up and pushed back by detection and a very aware T-70. Another shoe mine going down, and indeed von Asten just trying to throw mines like crazy all over the place. And a 2-to-1 actually VP cap, indeed he's going to go for the trip cap. Might be able to do so, and I'm kind of wondering the Kettenwerfer sliding down to the southeast to kind of stop that. Now where is that SWS? Interesting. So we have a battle group headquarters going down. I would have thought of it a very quick tech into tier 4, but no, that's not going to be the case. Instead, we're going to see just that tier, let's call it 1A coming out, or 2A if you prefer. So battle group headquarters goes down. Germans have not been able to seize that northern VP. And by the way, guys, this T-70 now has that wonderful, wonderful secure mode that's going to get taken care of. There's going to be nothing left of that. Even as the T-70s get a little bit less anti-infantry capability, which I'm kind of pleased about. Those guys are just way too good at killing infantry. MG-34 is going to get carved to pieces, though. Unfortunately, that flamethrower is rather tasty. And this T-70 are trying to put a ton of pressure onto this German position. Might be able to take out the MG-34. No, not quite. And indeed, this P-2 is able to deflect them for the time being. One by Kettenwerfer out of position. Where's the other one? Coming on forwards. Might be able to get one shot off. I don't know. Could be a really, really juicy target. I don't know, but the P2 doing a bit of work as well. Nope, Kettenwerfer does not slide around to take care of that. And indeed, we are going to see the German position is slightly collapsing for the time being, as... Wow. Wow. As Penal troops diving in to seize a very, very close position on the German side of the map. Ooh, one squad of Volksgrenadiers is getting taken apart. Another squad getting torn apart by the T-70 as well as the guards' rifles with grenades. Oof. Oof. And there's a little bit of hate coming out here from Von Asten. Not happy with that T-70 play. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. There's going to be some significant nerfs happening out there. And I dare say, Pappy O'Daniel has taken a very good lead on this map. Now, these poor Rakettenwerfer seems to be able to cloak even when it's under fire. That's a lucky thing for him right there. P2 putting some fire down on top of these guards' rifles. And indeed, Sturmpires rushing on in to do some more damage themselves might be able to pick up that DP light machine gun and be a good little bit of firepower. But not when they find themselves caught out by penal troops. T-70s come on in though, and that might be the end of this P2. This noble P2. Heck, might even be the end of these Sturmpires. One more round will do it. No, he's going to fire at the house instead. Apparently doesn't like how that sighting looks. And this is the word. There goes another Sturmpire. And that doesn't leave Von Asten very much. There is some hatred coming out right now, but does not leave him with very much. And it appears that Pappy is just willing to give it right back. Shade has been thrown, the gauntlet is down, and I dare say that Pappy is more than happy to keep that under control. So the Germans are now completely totally confined back basically into their own quadrant with a base sector. I would not wonder if it might have been better to deploy a Schwerpanzer headquarters. Indeed, he could have been able to deflect and take out these T-70s if he had been a teensy bit more aggressive. Let's also look at the fact that Pappy O'Daniel's T-70s came out at about 10 minutes into the game, or the first one did anyway. Unless we now forget, now there's a Mechanized Armor Company coming out, and this is a way strong position for Pappy. So while these machine guns might be enough to suppress, they're not going to do enough damage to really take out this Soviet aggression. Indeed, there goes one squad right there. He's going to fall back. He's not even been selected as the retreat point either. So Von Asten's troops every single time are going to rush back home. Have to walk back out to this particular spot here to get healed back up. And I don't think he's got the time to do it. This T-70 coming, excuse me, P2 coming on in. These guards kind of letting them. At the same time, this battle group headquarters is going down a fair bit. Oof, and that will do it. Satchel charges, tearing holes in the German hearts right about now. Maybe Von Asten is just kind of waiting to bring in that command tank. I do not know, but he's going to have a little bit more time to come in today. Bring it on in another minute or so. He's already down about 200 tickets, so it's not a great position for him to be in. P2 force back, hiding right back here, right by the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. Folks Grenadiers bravely trying to stand up to the T-70, but there's very little veterancy on this map right now. There's one star there, nothing over there, 2 stars here, and yep, neither one of these Rakettenwerfers has diddly squat. And this has been pretty much the story of the game right now. These T-70s are ripping on through Von Asten. The penal troops doing a fair bit of work themselves. So I think maybe Von Asten will try to hang out just long enough to bring in that Panther command tank. And that's also true, at least it is not maximum spam. Even though maximum spam is probably a touch easier to deal with than a couple of T-70s. Carding off you. Oh jeez, this is, it's getting ugly back here, folks. Von Asten's gonna throw down that Panther command tank right now. Here it comes. Skadoosh. And 20 minutes in, the Soviet army looks supreme, even as that beautiful piece of German engineering comes onto the map. So rounds down range, but he's not going to hit anything at the moment. And indeed, rushing on through while there's a bunch of guards around is not the greatest way to preserve this brilliant piece of machinery. Combat engineer's not going to do squat. PTRS guards over here to the east will, though. But for the moment, we will see that the other guard squad, the primary guard squad, let's call it, is going to take a fair bit of negative attention here. Marked target as well coming out with a T-34-85 in the rear of this Panther tank. And for some reason, instead of shooting at that which hurts most... Yikes. This Panther command tank tries to take shots at the T-70. Dear God, though, we might still see a dead T-34 anyway. One more round. Vehicle buttoned. Oh no, could this be... Nope, never mind. Main gun destroyed on the T-34-85. Panther just running on through no matter what, and P2 chasing after one of the T-70s. There goes the T-34-85. And P2 coming in behind, trying to throw rounds down range, but no, T-70 instead runs into the Panther. Excuse me, the P2. And now these Volksgrenadiers bravely throwing themselves at the T-70 just to get rid of it. And there goes the last one. But the Soviets have such a brilliant edge and firepower here. And now a recrewed Rakettenwerfer. The vehicle is still buttoned. Oi. So you guys get nibbled to death. And in fact, that might even be what happens. Peanut Battalion not able to do it themselves. But Von Asten has very little left to do anything with. 110 to 433, 2134. I have not seen Soviets be this dominant in a game in a very long time. Whew. They have now captured both Rakettenwerfers. Von Asten has 2 squads of vanilla infantry and 1 machine gun, which is up here in the northwest side of the map. Now, this Panther has done a fair bit of work, and you can see right now getting a little bit of TLC. Desperately needed TLC, as machine gun's going to get chased like crazy out of here. Here goes a flamethrower, burst of fire. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just a hair out of range. And instead we're going to see penal troops and guards alike just chewing these poor guys to pieces. In the meantime, a mortar squad actually getting posted out here. 120mm mortar forced to relocate, even as Von Asten is slowly bringing the map back into a vague sense of balance. I wonder if he could stick out and hold this one. He is down a huge amount of tickets. But with some judicious engagements, he might be able to do it. Of course, not if he sends his machine gun forward unsupported. And indeed, here we go. We're going to see... Nope, it is instead Von Asten tapping out at 22:47. Leaving us to the final end game of... What is this? 89 to 433. Pappy O'Daniel with the big W. Well done to him. A little unfortunate for Von Asten. They kind of expanded the wrong direction, I would say, with tech. I would have gone from Battle Group headquarters and then into that Tier 4 building as opposed to the Mech Reg. Might have allowed him to get some more effective infantry or even just the army in general onto the map. Nevertheless, folks, that's it for me today. As always, if you have a game you want to send to me, let me know. I will not take salt fests, and I will not take, abusive messages back and forth. But I hope you guys love the content you see on this channel, and I'm looking forward to giving it some more to you guys. I'll see you all soon. This is ConnellWorks signing off. Take it easy.